Boys in skirts. They're called femboys, and it is one of the most interesting mysteries that I encountered. They've been around the internet for a while and it certainly grabbed my attention for being cute. The way they act and dress is absolutely adorable, and those aspects of femboys also increased my interest in femboy culture. My name is Otakutims and I am interested in femboys. So, let's dive into the rabbit hole and investigate those fascinating femboys. It is now the 90s. The famous TV show Friends just got released and the world was starting to understand the concept of the internet.
Well, it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
It was during that era the term femboy, short for feminine boy, shed light for the first time, and it was used to describe cisgender male with feminine aspect. Other than the term femboys, there were several terms used to describe those feminine boys. In Japan, the term otokonoko, which means male girl, was frequently used in manga and anime to describe a cisgender male who cross-dresses and has a feminine aspect. After the introduction of anime in the West during the mid-2000s, the term otokonoko and femboys was commonly replaced with the word trap. That term seemed to have originated from the meme "It's a Trap" to describe femboys. Nowadays, people also use the word femboys to describe feminine boys because of the rise of femboy hooters and femboys TikTokers. Well, that's enough of a history lesson. In order for me to investigate the topic of the femboys accurately, I would need to talk to an actual femboys. So after some research, I interviewed a femboy from different countries to find the truth about femboys and why they exist, along with the interesting information, of course. But before everything, the first thing we have to establish is the definition of femboy.
Well, I think in layman's term, a femboy is a guy who is very overly feminine. And I think it shouldn't be confused with just feminine guys, because I think femboy it's an internet term and it's purely only on the internet. At least I think it is anyway.
Our first femboy is Hidoki.
Well, hello, my name is Hidoki, but most of my friends call me Doki, so that's what you can call me as well.
I guess in general, it tends to be people who are masculine identifying, but also exhibit like feminine traits, like being like wearing feminine clothing, acting cute, and etc. But I've also seen like a lot of other people who are uncomfortable with the label of transgender, but they start with being a femboy, because yeah, it's like the first step sort of thing.
Our second femboy is Femboy Physics.
Hi, I'm Femboy Physics. I make physics content on YouTube, but not recently. I also have a Twitter account that I'm very active on, and I occasionally Twitch stream. I've been Twitch streaming more often than I'm making YouTube videos. Oh, I should also mention, I have a degree in physics. Yay.
I would describe a femboy as a feminine guy. Yeah, there's some guys who look real feminine just without actual like girly clothes. There's some who just like acting like a girl. And there's some just who go above beyond and would put clothes on, acts like a girl, looks like a girl, and goes like full trap mode.
Our third femboy is Samuel.
My name's Samuel. I'm 16. I live in Texas. I haven't done much with my life.
Femboy is just boy who wants to be feminine. It's just shorthand.
Our next femboy is Mako Ray.
My name is Mako Ray. I do videos, art, music. I play video games. I wish to become a game developer in the future.
Most of them gave similar answers for the definition of femboys. So with the establishment of the definition, it is time for us to debunk some interesting mysteries about femboys. The first mystery we will debunk is femboy's origin. How a person becomes a femboy is still a mystery, so I asked them how they became one.
I would like to say I've always been like a feminine guy, but I think these past few years on the internet, with it gaining a lot more popularity, I would say probably in the last 2 years have I, coined the term, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. So recently.
It was a slow process. I put on the thigh highs, and then that's when it started. It was all downhill from there. Yeah, it was like, I think 2 years ago. Then I just started buying more cute things and stuff.
Throughout my entire teenagehood, I kind of struggled with masculinity. I always felt like I knew what a boy or a man or whatever was supposed to be, and I always tried to act like that, but it never really felt right for me. I had a relationship with a girl who was into typically masculine guys, and that did not work out because I was forcing myself into this thing. I'd always considered myself to be a boy who might as well be a girl when it came to a lot of things. Eventually, I managed to be honest enough with myself to be well, I looked up hormone replacement therapy for trans people, and I thought, oh, I want to do that. And at that point, I thought I was a trans girl, because, that's kind of the thing. You're trans, you go on hormone therapy, blah, 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 you get to be feminine now. I'd seen femboys being a thing in, porn. I didn't know it was, an actual thing. But then I found Dimitri Monroe, a notable femboy YouTuber, and I was like, oh, you can just call yourself a boy still. And so here I am.
It kind of started when I was real young. My sister, she used to dress me up in her dresses and then make me go downstairs and show myself to my family. Yeah, I wasn't too opposed to it. I was a child and I didn't know what was happening. This started happening, I guess, about a year ago now, when I started to watch more anime, and I was like, shit, I could pull that off.
Yes, definitely. Most of the femboys became who they are because of several factors such as being feminine, liking cute things, the rise of femboy culture, and thigh highs, which we will talk about later. Now that we know the origins, let's find out the outfits they wear as a femboy.
Normally, I am just a feminine guy, so I already have a lot of jewelry and I do paint my nails and stuff like that. But specifically, what I am, I guess, wanting to dress more like a femboy, I do have a lot of pleated skirts, thigh highs, fishnets sometimes, I guess, and I do have some dresses and stuff like that. I think, at least for me anyway, being a femboy ties into my cosplaying as well. I do cosplay a lot of female characters, so that plays into it as well.
It generally tends to be skirts, booty shorts, thigh highs, fishnets are really fun. For tops, I been getting into crop tops lately, and as well as oversized sweaters. I love oversized sweaters. Yeah, anything but pants, because I'm not a big fan of pants.
I like to wear mostly skirts, thigh highs, some Converse, a graphic tee or a hoodie, depending on the weather.
Mostly women's clothes, just whatever I think looks nice and is reasonably comfortable. Usually the shirt is the most comfortable thing, but it does look nice, I think. Occasionally I'll go the full skirt thigh highs thing, but most casual wear is just typical of
The second mystery comes from an urban legend that states wearing thigh highs can turn you into a femboy. The question that derived from this legend was, are thigh highs dangerous?
Well, it is a gateway. It is a gateway drug. I think you can not be a femboy and wear thigh highs, but it definitely does help to say. Definitely does help. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's not like they're gonna make you into a femboy if you weren't already gonna be a femboy. You just accelerate the process.
I say the urban legend is true. I don't say it's dangerous.
I think everyone needs a catalyst to have an awakening, and putting on thigh highs and looking at yourself in the mirror can certainly be a way to awaken yourself to something that you may not have realized you had an inclination towards. So, when you say dangerous, I mean in the sense that you might have to confront what you actually want to be, but other than that, it's just some socks.
As I was researching and surfing through the internet, I've witnessed some femboy phobia from some group of people on the internet. They were calling them gay in a bad way and discriminated femboys because they were different from their own standards. Even outside the internet, femboys are not accepted because the act of cross-dressing or becoming a femboy is still seen as taboo. To get more insight of this, I've asked them if there were any disadvantages of being a femboy.
The internet is a tough place, and you should have a tough skin if you're going to be posting yourself on the internet. But as I could say, usually you'll be called gay, and there's nothing wrong with being gay, but the people that say that definitely aren't meaning it in a good way at all. Your masculinity will be questioned always, and I think that also plays into why people call you gay. I think you can still be just as much as a man as anybody else. It doesn't matter if you like wear like skirts or like feminine things, but I think that's a big thing. Is it's not really from women either, it's from other men that think that you're like throwing away your manhood just because you like cutesy things or like dressing a certain way.
Yeah, I would say so. It's not generally accepted like in society. So a lot of our femboying is that a verb. It's a verb now. Tends to be private or online, that sort of thing. I've known people who do it in public, and they're very brave, and I'm proud of them.
I would definitely say that there can be, especially living in South USA. I live in a white trash town. I wouldn't go anywhere dressed like a femboy in my town. I've gone to other places. I was in a Dairy Queen and people were looking at me, but I didn't care. I would say there's a risk to being a femboy because a lot of people don't understand it, and with not understanding it, there's the crazy people who think that you should be killed.
And anything that comes with being a trans girl, if anyone recognizes that you have a dick, but you're dressing up as a girl, and it really depends a lot on where you live. Right now, I'm currently staying at my partner's house in Connecticut, and people here are pretty chill. I've seen a couple of looks people have given me, but for the most part, people here are pretty chill with it. I've actually gotten complimented on my socks while I was walking around with thigh highs and booty shorts. If you're in the South in America, or in a different country where things are a bit more judgmental, then yeah, anything that comes with being a trans girl is gonna likely also apply to being a femboy. Though people are a bit less judgmental of the identity aspect, if you're not, because transphobes are gonna be like, if you try to call yourself a girl, they're gonna be like, no, you're not one. But if you're a femboy, you don't have to call yourself a girl, so they're a bit more understanding in that regard, but it still comes with all the typical. Yeah, I myself have not faced like any discrimination whatsoever, or at least nothing significant. Like every now and then I'll get like a YouTube comment saying like, man, you need mental help or whatever. But it's like, other than that, like I haven't faced any actual thing, but I never leave my house. Other people may need to be careful.
Our last question comes from the title of this video. Why does femboy exist?
I think they exist because the internet is having a more acceptive takes on, I guess, gender and what that means and what that entitles as what you wear and stuff. You see more, I think, masculine women is being accepted the same as feminine guys. So I think they exist because, society is allowing it now.
Well, I think that just some guys like to express themselves in feminine ways, and dress like pretty girls and stuff like that. And it's kind of like a rebranding of like twink / crossdresser with like a wombo combo of the two. It's like more blurring the line of gender roles and stuff like that. And I just think it's cute.
It all can come from like trap culture, and also I guess back in the day in Japan they would throw theaters. They would have theaters, and women weren't allowed. Guys had to wear makeup and dresses and women's clothes. I think some of it could have stemmed from there. I think a lot of it stemmed from trap culture. I think a lot of just modern culture just provides it as well.
People want to be cute. It's really as simple as that. Like, whenever anyone asks me like, hey, why do you dress up like that? It's like, well, for the same reason any girl wants to dress up like that. There's nothing genetic saying that, like, people born female have a predisposition to wearing skirts or whatever. It's just Some people want to be cute.
I think femboys are signs of positivities in the world. They're one of the groups that are spreading positivities around the world instead of staying inside the tiny box that society set for humanity. They came out to show the world that it is okay to express and be yourself. One of the reasons why femboys are seen as taboo could come from inherited ideologies.
The only reason that discrimination and like racism and stuff happens still is because the parents teach that to their children, and the cycle continues. And then when those people grow up, they tell their children that.
It's the same reason anyone's racist or homophobic or whatever. There's just some people, when they see an other, they just instinctively react negatively to it. There's no logical reason behind it. They try to make up arguments for it. It's always just a feeling people have because they're too closed-minded to be open to anything else other than what they're used to. They see something new and they're like, I don't recognize this. Get it away, put it in the trash, get it away. I mean, it's gotten better over time. It will continue getting better over time as people are forced to be exposed to more and more of it. Representation in media is very important for that reason. When people get used to something, they're forced to actually confront that it exists, they stop trying to deny its existence.
I am pretty sure there are people out there who wants to become a femboy but are oppressed by those ideologies. My message to them is simple. We're not here forever. Our time will eventually come. Thinking about what other people think would be a waste of time. Also, those who did not take the opportunities of becoming who they truly wanted because of the standards will truly regret in the future. As cliche as it sounds, you only live once, and
wear whatever you want, you know what I mean? Like, you only live once, and you know, at least for men anyway, you're gonna go bald. You know, male, pattern, bald. Just wear whatever the fuck you want while you can. Or, because who gives a fuck, like, what other people think. And saying that, I like to say that the internet is more progressive, but that doesn't mean that, you know, society in whole is more progressive. So if you can't, you know, express how you want to now, you can later, especially for like younger guys, I think, that have like more like conservative families that wouldn't want their sons to do that. I would say wait until it is safe, because there are some things that do happen when you try to express yourself and your family isn't accepted. But other than that, if it is safe to do it, wear whatever the hell you want, because it is fun. It really is.
You don't have to have a cute voice. I mean, a lot of femboys ask me like, oh my god, how do you get your skin so smooth? And stuff like that. Moisturizer and shaving carefully. Yeah, make sure to like use some kind of lubricant when shaving. Because like water with soap or shaving cream, something like that. That really helps.
Buy what you want if you don't have a way of buying it. If you have any friends who would buy it for you, specifically girls, so I mean, if you're trying to keep it on the down low. I guess my grand message would be who you want to be. Nothing's holding you back besides words from other people. And words from other people don't mean anything to you. You should always block those out.
Hormone replacement therapy is nice. However, you need to be very, very sure of yourself before undergoing it, as it will give you titties. Mine are pretty small, but your mileage may vary if you're considering going that route. You don't need it. It does help, but you don't need it. Shaving tips. Get a double-edged safety razor. Get one of those shower mirrors that they have like a suction cup or a sticker that can stick in the shower. Get like a loofah. Exfoliate your face with body wash or whatever, and then shave in the shower. You will thank me later. It is so much better than like just using a disposable razor with like the cheap like spray gel stuff. Also, get like a shaving starter kit on Amazon. They have things where it's like a little bowl that you swirl a bristle brush around in, and there's like soap. It's a lot better. You'll be a lot smoother for it. Other than practical tips, one thing I see a lot is a lot of people who wish to be cute and feminine thinking to themselves, oh man, there's no way I could pull that off. And I just want to say, like, sure, for some people, there's going to be a big struggle. I have fairly good facial structure. Like, I'm pretty androgynous looking as it is. I'm 180 pounds. I'm 6 foot tall. I have a little bit of a pot belly, like, kind of hard to notice, but like it's kind of there. People still think I'm really cute. Like, you don't have to be a 5'4", like 113-pound little twink in order to, you know, be cute. Styling and camera angles whenever you're taking pictures of yourself, facial expressions. It's very easy to look terrible in a photo of yourself, but like you just look in the mirror and you just work with what you have. Like, don't be afraid to try it. You'd be surprised at what you can transform yourself into. Just look at like before and after pictures of trans girls, and you'll see a lot of people where it's like, whoa, how did that become that? And if they can do it, you can do it too. I actually saw a person who said that like this other person couldn't be a femboy because their skin was too dark, and it's like the whole femboy thing is breaking out of generic masculine versus feminine beauty standards. Don't reinforce that same bullshit by saying you have to do this and this and this and this. As long as you are like what society currently dictates to be feminine, but as long as you're fitting in that mold to a decent degree and you can like look cute, it's like you're doing it. You don't have to be this one specific thing. You don't have to have the exact right set of genetics in order to do it. Just do what makes you happy.
So the answer to this mystery is simple. Femboy exists to show the world that it is okay to express yourself and become who you want to be. The world and the internet is constantly changing, and I hope femboys will be more accepted. Thank you, Doki, Femboy Physics, Samuel, and Mako Ray for the interview.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun to answer these questions.
Thank you for having me.
You have a good one.
Thank you for interviewing me.
Well, that's it for today, and thank you for watching episode 3 of Otaku Mysteries. If you want to support this series, please go ahead and subscribe and like. Also, comment down below mysteries you would like for me to solve. Let's end this video with a poem. Roses are red, violets are blue, perhaps you're the next femboy, and it's okay too.